Welcome back, guys, to the channel. We have a pretty loaded video. We have two new Olympians in the men's physique division. Gonna talk a bit about Dan and everyone's placings at Tri-City, and then we got to look forward to Wasatch Warrior. So let's get right into it, guys. All right, so this last weekend we had the Wasatch Warrior, right? And here is the top six. Not Wasatch, sorry, Tri-City. Top six right here. We have Clarence McSpadden. We got Travis Yao, Hassan Karimi, Jacques Lewis. We got Michael Agostino, and the social media sensation Dan, right? So let's just discuss a little bit. I know a lot of people online and in the community apart McGrath's side were upset about Dan coming in sixth, right? How could he look like this big, right? So let's just look, right? Look at Clarence. We're just going to start just simply from this because this is what men's physique is, right? We're going to go look at the waistline and we're going to look up to the shoulder. Look how the waistline streamlines right into the delt, right? In 1, 2, 3, 4. All right there. Exactly how it should be, right? That's men's physique. That's part of the men's physique aesthetic. 5, not as much, the waistline, it's like up and then like that. And Dan is up and like that, right? It's supposed to be a V taper, not like a Y, right? Dan's front pose and Michael's front pose could use a little bit more improvement. It could be the shot of the photo, but 1 through 4 have the right pose. They have the right front pose, and it shows the aesthetic, right? Waist looks tiny, shoulders look big, right? Yeah, I mean, one thing I can say is Travis looks a lot bigger than Clarence, at least in the arms and the delts, right? It looks like he carries a little bit more mass, but Clarence is more conditioned, better ab control, and I think he has more pop to his chest, which makes him look more complete. So that's 1 through 6 from the front, and then we're going to look at the back, right? Obviously, we can talk about how crazy Dan's back is. Lines are crazy, but his pose, his right shoulder, a little crooked. Bring it a little bit forward. Bring this arm a little bit forward. Look a lot better, right? Michael Agostino doesn't have crazy lines, but like he's a Masters guy, so keep in mind, great physique. Then you have Jacques Lewis. Honestly, looks really great from the back. Just got to work on the density in the center, through the center of the back. Karimi's back kind of surprised me. He fixed his back pose from I can't think of what show was before this, but he fixed the back pose and it moved him up a lot because Jacques beat him before, so he moved up to 3, right? Travis Yao, great density through the back. I think he's got to fix his back pose. His shoulders look a little bit uneven, and then Clarence just needs to work on the width. That's always been his critique, is the width and the density through the center of the back. So now that he has more time in an off season, we'll see how he does. And congratulations to Clarence McSpadden on getting your 4th Olympia qualification and returning back to the O. And let's see if that bet with Ben and Clarence is on at the Olympia. One band to see who places higher, right? So now we're going to go to the Nordeste Pro, which was overseas, and we basically had Emmanuel Costa, who was the 3rd call-out guy at the Olympia last year, versus Edvin Palmera, 11th at the Olympia last year. Just from the front shot, Edvin looks more streamlined. Like I told you guys, look at their pose. You can see the waistline go into the shoulder, right? Emmanuel Costa came in pretty peeled, but it just, not only does Edvin carry a lot of muscle, he streamlined his physique a lot more. Like a lot more, because I don't think you guys realize he's made his weight cap, I think, at 209 here. Yeah, he's on the Olympia stage last year, like 223 or something huge. So he's lost a lot of muscle, and I want to talk about that in a second. But let's look at the back pose. I think Emmanuel Costa from the back may have been honestly beating Edvin. It could be Edvin just pinching or like a bad photo, because his lats themselves look like there's no lines in the lats, a little watery, but it could just be a bad photo, right? Edvin does return to the O, and congratulations to Edvin. I want to go over, is this the best Edvin we've seen, right? So I want to put this photo up. This is him at the Olympia, right? 2022, when he got his qualification, right? And then let's put him right next to each other, right? We're going to replace Emmanuel Costa. Boom, right here, okay? These are the Edvins facing each other, right? Edvin's front pose looks wider, I would say, in the 2020. I like the front pose he does now because it helps accentuate his waist a lot more. And I mean, it also shows his chest pop. I mean, look at his chest in 2022, right? His chest wasn't popping. It didn't have that 3D look. And in 2023, great chest, 3D-ness to it, right? So then let's look at the back pose, because this is something I know Edvin was probably critiqued on at the Olympia in 2022, right? Let's compare the backs. So we have Edvin 2022, Edvin 2024, right? I would say there's more muscle in Edvin's back for sure in 2024. But like I said, this photo's got to be, something's got to be off with it or something. But the conditioning just wasn't there in the back based off these photos, right? These are the things that suck with the overseas, is they're not going to be the best photo quality and everything like some things that we get. But he was very dry at the Olympia in 2022. Edvin's put on a lot more muscle, and it's very significant that you can see that, right? So if he can bring in the conditioning, I'm sure he'll return to that top 5 like he was before. Because Edvin, you know, great physique. Now that we've covered that, let's head into the Wasatch Warrior, guys. Right here. Here's the list. We're going to go down this thing quick. Got Dustin Alves, Andre Benson, Dallas Botchaway, which is pro debut, Jeremy Coleman, Felipe Deglia, Jamal Everett, Jason Hune, Andre Jenkins, Marvin Jimerson, Hossein Karimi, Miles Mann, Mr. Universe pro debut, David Merrill, I think it's his pro debut, Matt Moore, Wilfredo Nira, Michael Oliveira, Khalil Quarti, Justo Scott, Mark Shane, which is his pro debut, and Austin Whitty. Not the strongest list. There's only one there's a couple Olympians on here, I think. I think there's a couple Olympians that are on here, but not the strongest list. But that does not matter, and that does not take away from anyone else. That's, you know, no pro show is an easy win, right? And the goal is to make it to the Olympia. Once you're there, then you prove yourself on the Olympia stage, right? And all you can do is control what you bring to each pro show. Can't control the lists. So just a couple names I want to go over. Obviously, we have Dustin Alves, who came in second at the Charlotte Pro. And Dustin isn't going to be a front runner, even if he came in second at this show. But Dustin will be in that first call out. They'll probably bring out 6 guys in that first call out, I assume. And Dustin will be in that first call out battling. I see Felipe Degliakens in that first call out. He was second and second last year at the 2 shows that he did. So he was just short of an Olympia qualification. But his roundness and muscle bellies to his physique are great. I just think he's got to bring in the conditioning. These are his updates. His conditioning on stage last year was on point. So I'm not going to take these photos too literal, because he's proved that on the stage he brings his conditioning in. And he's just had to bring up the back, and it looks like he's brought more thickness to the lats, right? So we'll see that improvement on stage. Hossein Karimi, we saw him. He'll be back. And then My favorite to win the show, if I'm going to be honest, I didn't know he was doing it until I saw he posted that it's peak week. Jason, right? Jason for sure has improved his back, and he does look extremely proportional, right? And the balance is there. The only thing with me is Jason's front is got to be money, right? To win the show, I don't think it has to be money, if I'm going to be completely honest. His best look, I think, is still the Vancouver Pro. But Jason just needs to be able to nail his peaks. That's all. He didn't nail it at the Olympia. We'll see how he does here. Like I said, I think Jason honestly just has to come in 90% to win this. He has, the density in his back. He has the experience on stage. There's a lot. And I think Jason will return to the Olympia this year. And give him a lot of time to rebound his body, and we'll see how he does, right? So my favorite is Jason to win this show. I have Ken's in second, and then I have Dustin Alves in third. That's my top three right there. The rest is going to be interesting. There's a lot of rookies I need to see. I want to see how Miles does. This is Mr. Universe 2023. He took the time off, and the first thing you notice with Miles, right, is his chest. He has an absolutely popping chest, right? His chest is very 3D-ish, which is great for the division. He has a great front pose. There's balance between the arms and the shoulders. And the back, it's there, guys. Yeah, it's there. So I'm excited to see how he does in his pro debut. I think can make that first call out. I got Austin 7th last year. I think his best finish at the Pacific Pro. His arms still are a little big, but his shoulders are getting better to help balance out the arms and the shoulders. I just think he needs to improve his back a little bit more. You can see in the lats, it's super, super great lines for him. But I think he just needs a little bit more width because his waist is just a little bit thicker, right? But I do see Austin battling in that first call out. And then, I said 6 guys, so it's going to be close. I looked at Dallas Botchway, that's a rookie. Great shape. Jeremy Coleman's been a first call out guy. Jamal Everett's been a first call out guy. Andrew Jenkins been a first call out guy. Mark Shane, he is a rookie, and he could end up making that first call out, to be honest with you guys. Khalil Cordy, nasty physique, but just not the same as it used to be. So we'll see. A lot of guys on this list, a lot of guys looking to prove themselves. I do think Jason wins this show. Use the term lightly, easily, because no pro show is easy. I think the experience with Jason's really going to help him, though. And excited to see if Jason continues doing shows or what he decides to do after this. If he doesn't win or, whatnot. Excited to see how Dustin does. Because Dustin missed out on the Tri-City. So we'll see how he does here. And yeah, another thing I wanted to bring up real quick, guys, that I did watch this morning was the Ebanks, Alexander Toplin, and Drew Cullen all hopped on Alex's channel. And they had a video discussing about men's physique, Tri-City, all that, right? Let's talk about this video briefly, guys. They covered a lot, what the standard is, what it is to be hyped up by Hart. And, a lot of it got to his mind. And really, the pro division is just something different. It as crazy as people think it is, how crazy someone looks online, it's a lot different when you step on stage. Because it's about being complete. It's not about being the biggest guy. It's not about having the best back. It's not about having the best front. It's about being complete. Front to back, stage presence, even your shorts with the background. There's so much that goes into it, guys, other than just being an incredible physique to look at, right? It's about the aesthetic in the division, the V taper and the X frame. That's why the shorts have been brought up, so the legs can show the completeness in the physique. It's something not a lot of people understand about men's physique, and they think you can just hop in board shorts, right? There is criteria, guys. It's been very clear. Tyler Mannion has made the criteria very clear. It's on the website. It's very clear what the criteria is for the division, and at the end of the day, it's balance, right? It's balance in your physique, and it's not having something overpowering something else in your physique. And that's why the elite are the elite, because they have that balance. It's not just their back is amazing, just their front is amazing. They have it front to back. They bring in the conditioning. They're on point. And it is almost an hour-long video that Toplin, Ebanks, and Drew discuss about. So if you guys did want to check that out, I really recommend you check that out. They go really in-depth in there. And I hope Alex continues to do this for the division and use his channel and bring on these athletes to help speak for the division, just because nothing against Hart McGrath. He's the reason I honestly started this channel, because I love the men's physique division, right? But there is a large portion of Hart McGrath and it being the entertainment purpose, you know. He does this as a full-time job. Keep that in mind, guys. He has to bring in the entertainment, get people's eyes, draw the attention, ride the waves, right? And it's not as exhilarating or fun to comment on Dustin Alves, you know, or Travis Yao, who's been doing great in these shows. Last year, Drew coming in, you know, top 3 in 6 shows. It's not as exhilarating covering things like that, and it's more exhilarating covering the comeback of Buendia, or, you know, chasing the next social media star like Dan Ibrahim, or last year Toplin. Like, he loves Toplin's physique and his structure. And the reality of the sport, guys, is it's harsh, because it's a subjective sport, and a lot of people take it personal, and the only reason a lot of people were on Dan's side is because his physique is insane. But keep in mind, guys, it's not men's physique. Unfortunately, it isn't yet. Can it be? Yes. Do I believe he can get there? Yes, because Dan has the hard work, has the work ethic. But it's not. Hart McGrath is going to try to get people's eyes for views, because it's his job, guys. He has to do that. Reporting the division, talking about it honestly. Toplin's doing that, and I'm grateful for that. I've been doing that since last year, discussing the, you know, every pro show, all the results, all the predictions, and there's really like no bias. Like, you guys can think I'm biased. I put my boy Drew in 4th at the Chicago Pro last year, and my man went and he went and won the show. So, like, I'm not using bias just because I talk to these athletes a lot. I'm not putting them higher than I believe they think they should be. And at the end of the day, I talked to somebody else about it, and you're here to prove yourself right. You're not here to prove others wrong. So everyone on social media making predictions and everything, go prove yourself right. You're not here to prove them wrong. You're not here to prove me wrong. I'm just here putting a voice and giving an opinion on a very subjective sport. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry I ranted at the end, but I'm excited to see the Wasatch Warrior. Hope these shows start to heat up. I need to see multiple Olympians. I need to see some bangers, guys. So take care, and until next week.